И в гостинице, что мне нравился, это что там были 3 бассейна.
3 бассейна.
Бассейна. И в ресторане и пляже. И это очень свободно. И 2 года назад, когда
2
года назад, когда у нас были каникулы, мы были в a different hotel.
Mexico?
Yeah. What's different? Разные?
Разные, да. В другом. Another.
Yeah, да. Мы были в другом гостинице. И это другой гостиница, и это была гостиница несколько 1-2 улицы, и потом ресторан, и потом бассейн и пляж. Но когда у нас были много things, это не так вещь, это было не очень свободно. Да. Где это там в гостинице, в the hotel room is
комната. Номер.
Okay, в номер.
Room.
Ты хочешь это нет, это 20 минут и
много времени. Much time.
Но этот раз это номер, пойти погулять 5 минут.
Близко? Close.
Yeah, близко. 5 минут, и там есть первый бассейн. Там есть ресторан.
Для детей? Для детей тоже? Или для всех? Бассейн для детей? Pool for kids?
Один были с много games or
Yeah, understand.
Игры
для детей.
Водские игры, water games. I don't know what you would call that.
Игры на воде.
A pirate ship with slides, and the kids love that.
Игры на воде. What games?
Okay. And slides and fountains or things pouring, palm trees with water. So yeah, the kids like that, and one corner had a pipe of hot water to keep like most of the water kind of staying heated. But what ended up happening was a lot of like lazy parents would just kind of sit there in that corner next to that like that nice warm jacuzzi section, and their kids would be like playing, and the parents were just like, "This is nice."
Yes.
Like,
lazy parents.
Yeah. So that was kind of one risk of just being, oh, this is nice warm water. It's like, I don't want to move. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go anywhere. And then you're like, you ask somebody like, hey, what time is it?
What was the weather? What?
It was like 22, 22.
22 градуса.
It wasn't bad.
Usual weather. Usual weather.
Well, the beach resorts typically are known for like a little bit warmer weather. However, even though I've been living in Mexico for several years, it's sometimes a little difficult to know all these microclimates, because I remember one time in January, I went down to Ixtapa in Zihuatanejo, and it was a jungle when I got off the bus, and I was just like, like it was so oppressive heat. It was just so hot and humid, and I was like, this is January, but it's like, okay, January means nothing when you're when you're at that like latitude and getting. I mean, it's still very far from the equator, but when you're getting further down and the water like around the Caribbean and Pacific and the Gulf, you're not in cold temperatures as much. So the water in the ocean is a little bit warmer than like in California. So
was it difficult to tell me in Russian?
Those specific words, probably. I mean,
I understood you, but some grammar, some endings.
Yeah, my endings.
Okay, I understood.
Yeah.
But you were brave to tell me in Russian. Good.
I need more practice. But I mean, and it's also like, okay, maybe if I had 10 minutes to kind of translate a few of these technical.
It was spontaneous. Spontaneous. It's good.
I mean, I can butcher really long explanations of, but it's still very basic. It's like, at the hotel there is, at the hotel there was. It's like I didn't quite have so much variety in what I'm saying.
Step by step.
I mean, I have to tell students as well. Just
yes, it was good.
Do it in phases. Get the idea across. But but I do realize like I need to practice more often, and which kind of goes well with this topic that I wanted to talk about of like a speaking service. So I've tried to a few times encourage people to use the SpeakPipe tool. I mean, it's just one example, but because people can use their cell phone or use, I don't know, like
Hello, Jonathan, and there no voice. We can't hear you. can't hear you.
Oh, I hit a button on the microphone. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, I should have left that thing alone. Uh, Hi, Rasmus. So how are you doing? Um, so yeah, I was just saying with the SpeakPipe tool, it's just a way to say whatever is like easiest, just to record yourself, make that recording, save it on a server. You don't have to worry about space on your cell phone or space on your hard drive or whatever, and just make a recording. Don't have an excuse for like, oh, I don't have a microphone, I don't have a fancy software. It's like, no, just get started. Or even like the YouTube, I'll just click record and get started. Um, and I'm actually going to turn this into a service for students. Specifically, right now, I'm going to be launching this for TOEFL prep students, so that like my schedule is like, here we're about like a couple days away from the beginning of March, but I think my teaching schedule is already full until like probably like March 10th or that week. Let me just see which days that is. But yeah, my week is already full for next week and the following week. And there's already people who have access to my schedule for all of March. So they've already started to kind of fill up the days. And sorry, the camera's zooming in here. Okay. Yeah, my schedule is already getting full for at least the next 2 weeks. And so when students are contacting me saying like, my exam is like March 3rd, I'd love to get a lesson with you, or I'd love to get your feedback or your tips or advice on like what to do for the test. I'm like, yeah. So what I'd like to do now is launch this kind of a product service where people are making these recordings, and maybe I mean, the way I'm been thinking through this is to maybe have a couple of my own like videos of here is my advice, here is things that I tell people without even listening to their audio recording the first time, but say, okay, just record yourself now, and then here's a sample answer that I kind of do for that same question, and say, well, hopefully my answer is going to be like the highest score. And then say like, okay, compare yourself. How is the timing? How is your structure? How is your pronunciation? How is your grammar? How is your intonation? And if any of those points are like weak, okay, here is one exercise to review that. Okay, here's one exercise to fix that. Here's another one to fix that. Here's another one to fix that. Okay, record yourself a second time, that same question or whatever. How well did you do, kind of back and forth between that first time, the second time? Okay, try it again. And then send me your best recording. Now I will review it. And that could be part of a mix of a kind of a semi self-guided feedback, where like it's a bit of an independent study. And finally, here's my feedback of like a recording. But I think one idea was like, if you go to a dentist office that has like assistants, and the assistant cleans your teeth and takes care of things for like 45 minutes, they're the ones doing all the hard work, which is more just the basic protocol or routine service. And then at the end, the dentist, after all of this work has been in there, comes in with the specialized like feedback and say, oh, well, okay, now that the assistant has done this, this, and this, and checked this and this, and okay, now let me take a look. So I think I could kind of do a little bit something in there of like, okay, here's your first recording. It's a little disorganized. It's a little messy. It's a little kind of difficult to follow. I don't have to listen to that immediately, but I can already anticipate that there's going to be problems with this. So go review this in your own time. This one, and then come back, send me a better recording, and then I'll give you feedback, because it's like if I'm first reacting to the first recording, it might be like there's just so much work that needs to be done, and a lot of my advice is still going to be the same for everybody, and just say like, okay, brainstorming, go check that one. Organization, look at this template. Pronunciation, okay, go check this out. Although pronunciation, that could be anything for anywhere, depending on student's background or familiar with the language. But so there could be things that are very personal, and then there could be things that could be just the same for everybody. So so that's what I'm working on with one of my mentors, to get that coach mentor to launch this as soon as possible. Because some of these students, they're like, well, I want your feedback, I value your feedback, but you're busy, and then having 1 hour scheduling at the same time. So this would be a little bit more of make a couple sample recordings, do the research, do the exercises, and then send me back like different recordings for that. So what do you guys think about kind of a service like that? I mean, this is more exam prep, but do you think that could also work for basic foreign languages as well, of saying like, okay, here is a question, here is some material to review, okay, try giving that answer again, and I will review that and give you feedback. Like, how do you think, would you be willing to pay for a service like that?
If I were a student, what should I record? Any exercise, or I don't know, any stuff?
Well, for the TOEFL, for the TOEFL, it's a very specific. There's 6 questions, and typically the first 2 questions are familiar questions, where it's like, describe your best childhood memory, include details and examples to support why you're describing that, and that's it. Or talk about your favorite restaurant and details and examples. Or your best friend, details, examples. So it's just something like a person or a place or some event, or and then a typical like number 2 type of question is you have to choose between 2 things. Some people like to do this. Some people like to do that. Which one do you prefer? Why? Details, examples. So some people like to study at the library. Some people like to study at home in their dorm room with the internet. Which one do you prefer? Or some people like to have cats. Some people like to have dogs. Which one? Why? Some people think arts and humanities should be included in a curriculum. Some people think it's a waste of time. Which one do you think? So those are usually some difficulties that students have. The most one, because they have to figure out, they have to brainstorm, well, what topic could I pick there? And they have like 15-20 seconds to like, okay, what am I going to talk about? And then start structuring how they're going to talk about that. And then they have to record themselves for like 45 seconds. And depending on how comfortable you are being recorded, or even in your native language, brainstorming, coming up with ideas can be problematic and stressful speaking with confidence, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into this answer. And I even listen to students give the answer in their native language, like Chinese, Japanese, Russian, and I'm like, or Korean, and I'm like, I don't speak these languages, or Thai. I'm like, just I'm not listening in that moment for the content. I'm just listening to how that person speaks their native language to see, like, do they speak slowly? Do they seem to speak fast? Do they sound coherent? And sometimes I can hear like that their sentences are kind of short, or their phrases are very short in their native language. And I'm like, I can't exactly fix that in English, just miraculously, because if that's the way the person speaks in their native language, there's a chance they're going to speak similar in the target language. So there's a lot of things that go into a speaking answer.
But there could be difference if I speak Russian as I speak normal, and when I speak English, maybe I can speak different ways.
Yeah. I mean,
you mean sentences could be long or short?
Yeah, it's just
other words.
Yeah, it's just a general impression that I could get to see how somebody might speak if they had to brainstorm an answer, talk about this under pressure of like 45, 60 seconds, and see like how well do they adapt to that in their native language. When it's, because a lot of people say, oh, I have a problem with English, and then that creates some things where they kind of blame everything on the language, and then some things are like personal, some things are their own speaking background.
But if you mean to make a record at the exam, you can get any spontaneous topic to talk for I don't know, for 60 seconds.
Well, it's on the day of the test, you have no choice over the question. They'll put the question on the screen, and then you have to answer that one. You only have like a very short time. The moment it appears on the screen and says, okay, now start brainstorming or preparing your answer. Okay, now speak, and then stop. So it ends up being spontaneous. So I mean, when I do train students, it's kind of, it is slightly not as spontaneous as the day of the exam, because it's like, okay, I'll copy paste an answer here or a question in a text chat and say, okay, answer this one. And they're like, and then they're kind of asking me questions. I'm like, no, don't ask me questions. Just brainstorm, start organizing your answer. Okay, here's the timer, go. And that little human interaction, it slows things down a little bit, so they might get some extra time, unfortunately. So the next time I'm like, okay, here are all the instructions. You understand the instructions? Yes, you understand the instructions. Okay, here I'm going to hit copy paste. Here's the question. Boom, the timer. Now start speaking, and that gets a little bit more of the testing situation, where it's like, okay, you can't choose this question. I'll choose a random one for you, and then you have to kind of try to respect these time considerations. Hi, Rashid. Thanks for joining. Can you hear us? We hear some background noise, but we don't yet hear your voice. All right. What were you going to say, Tatiana, again?
I told everything. You explained me.
Okay.
So you can give me some topic, and time goes on, and I can speak anything.
Yeah. I mean, ideally, you want to have a coherent, understandable answer for that question. Like it, I mean, if I really just took what you said there of anything, like, okay, describe your favorite restaurant, and you tell me about this one time you visited Paris, it'd be like, okay, that's just off topic, but the idea would be, yeah, it's coherent. That it kind of goes together, makes sense.
And what do you if I speak, when I speak, what do you see in my speech? How I use English, or the speed of my speech, or what? Spontaneous speech. What is this test for?
Okay, well, specifically this one, the TOEFL, it's mostly most people take this, like 20 something students are usually taking this after they finish maybe their first university studies, and then they want to go study maybe in the United States for some like graduate work, and one of the requirements that the universities admissions talk about is their level of English. Make sure that they can survive in a university setting, interact with other students, interact with professors, be able to write university essays, be able to understand university level reading materials, and listening to kind of lectures and conversations. So the TOEFL is a test that's designed to assess, evaluate their performance in each one of those situations: speaking, writing, listening, reading, in specifically this kind of academic environment. So in certain universities require a certain score, minimum score overall. Some of them require certain scores specifically for, let's say, the speaking section. It needs to be this level, or a combined score for reading, listening, and reading needs to be a certain combined score. So, so there are certain characteristics. Can you look for it? I think it's in there. So some students, unfortunately, they have to take this test like multiple times because they come up a couple points short. Here, TOEFL is, yeah, just academic. Yeah, I'll look for it. Yeah, IELTS has a general and academic. TOEFL is just academic on it. So just one second. My daughter wants something here. I'll take my headphones out and hear you. Here, baby. And what? Yeah, there you go. There's no more milk. I'm sorry. I'll get it in a little bit, okay? It's all gone. I'll have to buy a little more, okay? I'll buy some in like 20 minutes, okay? I know, BB. I'll get some milk in a little bit, okay? Can you ask Mommy? Please, can you ask Mommy? Oh yeah. This will be interrupted because. Okay. Okay. Just a second. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. Tatiana, I wanted to say that for topic, maybe I don't remember what was the website. There was a website full of topics and questions. I don't remember. Let me. Maybe I must have saved this website, but let me see on my bookmarks. Maybe I find it. There was a website full of the questions, and it's very good.
Of
Topics and question. Yeah.
Oh, buy some in a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. I finally found it. This is the website that I was thinking about. This can be good for topics and ideas, how to, for example, any topic. For example, there is topic. Let me randomly pick one. Okay, rice. What are the questions? Okay, what comes to mind when you hear the word rice? What rice dishes do you like? Which is better, rice or potatoes? What can you do with rice, etc. You can see loads of questions, and these are good for. I'm not saying these are gonna come in the exam, but these are topics to talk about. Even when I want to practice speaking alone, like I am by myself and I don't know, I want to practice speaking and I don't have any idea in my mind. Okay, I open a website like this and try to say it. Whatever. It's a speaking practice. Can be also become a writing practice also. Yeah. So. Yeah. Is it quality of life? When okay, it's some of them are so similar. What comes to mind when you hear the term quality of life?
How do you find such sites? So many interesting resources you give us. Yes.
I don't know. I found them. Sometimes somebody shared these websites and I saved them. This one, somebody was sharing it one time, and I remember somebody in a group was sharing this, and I saved it. I can remember it. There was another website also, not just this one, but I can't find the other one. But this one is also very good.
It's interesting. You can just practice, yes, to yourself, talking to yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes. Why not? You can even,
practice,
for example, that thing that you asked from Jonathan, that what to talk about, what should I record? You can pick one of these and talk about it. So yeah, this can be very good. And yeah, I do this with not with English, because I'm not so much focused on learning English. I'm not learning English anymore. I'm just using it. I learn other languages, and yeah, but English is very useful because most of the resources are in English. So yeah.
I saw your videos in different languages here on Facebook.
Yeah. I don't.
Do you still record every day?
Yeah. No, not every day, not every day. But I am gonna start doing this more, like using this website to record more. But sometimes
And you speak about any topic, or you use this site just to have some inspiration in?
Because in the past, when I used to record myself talking in different languages, it's gonna be always kind of the similar topic. Every day I'm talking about what I have done during the day, and it's not gonna make my language improve because it's all the same topic, the same things. Okay, sometimes the actions that I take differs in day by day, but still is kind of the same. Okay, today, what date is today? What is the time? This is kind of similar. It's not gonna improve. So I want something that is gonna make me struggle a bit, because when I struggle, I know that it's something that I need to work on until I get comfortable talking about that topic. Then after getting comfortable, then I can go to another topic that I struggle, because maybe if I, and not maybe, if I keep practicing, then most topics will be easy. There won't be many topics that I will have struggle because I don't remember the words or something like that. No, it's not gonna happen if I keep practicing. But if I don't keep practice different topics, I keep practicing the same topic, then my language is gonna stay the same.
What do you use? What program do you use to make a video?
I don't use any program. I don't use any special program. My laptop has webcam. Like right now, I am recording from my webcam. So I open my webcam program and I click the record button, and that's it. And then I upload it. I don't need to make fancy video to like record or edit my video. No, I just do it. Just a simple recording and upload it, either by my telephone or most of the time by my laptop. I don't need to edit.
If I have a webcam in my laptop,
yes,
how can I? What can I use? I don't know. What can I push? What button? Or I don't know. Maybe YouTube or I don't know. Skype or
I don't not YouTube, but I don't know. It's me. I can't show it right now because I'm using my webcam. Okay, it's I can easily turn my webcam off, and then I can maybe use the. Is it for the host only? No. Okay, I can't see the share screen. I can see the share screen. Okay. So where is it? I don't know. Yes. Okay. So maybe I don't know. Maybe are you seeing my screen now, or?
no? I just see some pic on the screen, and I can't see you, only hear you.
No. I turn my webcam off because I want to use my webcam. I click share a screen. Share a screen. You don't see share a screen because it's saying you are sharing a screen, but to me it's saying sure you are sharing a screen. Okay, let me turn it off and turn it on again. Maybe this time you see, or I don't know. Let me see which one. I don't know. I think this one is it. Are you seeing my screen or still the same?
I just see any the same. Some picture without anything.
Okay. I don't know why it doesn't work. Okay, right now, are you seeing my computer or?
Yes.
Okay, right. Now you see my taskbar, my start menu. Are you seeing it? Okay.
See?
So
Yes.
yeah. Okay. So when I click my start menu, this is the camera. This is the camera. When I click on it, then it opens, and then when it opens, then yeah. Okay, I have to wait a little. And now it wants to take picture, but I change it now to the video format. Now when I clicked on this, when it become red, and below it's gonna count time. Like now it's red, it's recording. You can see 4 seconds, 5 seconds, it's recording me. And then when I stop it, that's a video ready to be uploaded.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know what kind of webcam do you have? If
I don't know.
what
It's in my laptop.
So you have your webcam is the one that it's built-in webcam, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have any separate.
Okay, so there must be when you go to your start menu, open your start menu and see if in your start menu there is anything with name camera or webcam under your programs. Let's see if you can find anything. Webcam or camera. Can you see anything?
That menu. Let me see. I'm not so. I'm not an expert in this. And Jonathan makes videos too. I don't know, what does he use?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I saw. I don't know. I saw something, but I don't know. Local disk.
But I don't know if there is anything with name webcam or camera. It should be maybe that's the program, because webcam has to be with a software, and usually if you use that software you can use it for recording. You don't need a separate software or program, but of course you can use.
I have to look more. Maybe I will understand what can I do with this.
What tool are you talking about?
We are discussing. I'm asking about how can I make a video. What can I use to make a video?
I just tried one out yesterday when I was at the airport. I was very surprised. It worked on like Android and all this stuff. It was just like video converter, or clipchamp.com. It was very simple to use, and it actually uploaded clip.
Yes, but I don't know. I'm not sure if it is necessary, Tatiana, to use a different software or program. Usually on computer, when it is built-in webcam, it has a program, and you can open it and record it. And also in the mobile for the camera, where is my?
Yeah, there's usually a recorder. There's usually a video
recorder. There are always recorder, so you can easily use that option. You don't need anything, unless you want to edit and make edit and those kind of things. You don't need any kind of program. I don't think so.
If it's just for the sake of keeping track of your speaking progress, I don't think you really need anything to edit. I think it's just a matter of turn on the microphone, turn on the webcam, start recording, do that for like 2 or 3 minutes, and then just have a record of your progress.
Yeah.
I don't want to edit. I just want the
recording.
I'm not an expert.
Yes.
I can record an audio, but video I'm not so keen in computer.
It's getting easier and easier to do spontaneously, but still there is for a few people or a few software, it isn't as like just click and go. But some technology is trying to get to that point where it's just open it, click, record, and start. And some social media ones like Periscope are getting to that. Periscope combines with Twitter. That's Facebook and Instagram are like linked together. So Instagram has a live. However, Instagram Live it deletes after the live finishes. Facebook Live it keeps a recording. Periscope keeps a recording. YouTube obviously keeps a recording.
Yeah, there are lots of them, like Snapchat or I don't know, or the one that somebody was using a lot lately was YouNow.com.
Oh, okay.
YouNow.com. All these different and YouNow is gonna be live, and people can randomly people can randomly be directed to the channel if they are live. So it's depends what you want to use it. But if it just for language learning, you simply can use this. Use just the software for the camera, which is installed in both mobile and computer, and you simply can record. And I never used any program, a special program to recording. I always use the default program, whatever it happens to be. So, yeah, and it's easy usually. It depends. Just the only problem sometimes is sometimes it takes a long time to be uploaded to YouTube. Sometimes it gets it's so slow. But yeah. So Jonathan, when you were away from keyboard, that question that Tatiana asked, that's what should talk about. I remember that one time in Facebook group, I think it was a Facebook group of Lindsay, that somebody shared one of these websites that has a lot of questions, like this one, ESL discussion, that I found this one, and there are other one, but I can't find a bookmark for them. But this is definitely one of them. And it has so many topics and with questions. So if I have no idea what to talk about, open one of them and go.
Yeah, that same thing works for. That same thing kind of works for the Italki notebook entries of like what are some writing topics that you could use. No, don't touch it. Yeah, here I just posted another link that is for. These are a little older, but these are some typical TOEFL questions, like the type 1 type of things of describe your favorite like friend or an event or something in your country. No, baby. Okay. If you're not gonna put them on, then you have to get down.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so this one is very good one because I at least I don't know about you, Jonathan, but me when I want to talk sometimes when I wanted to do something like you when you were talking daily in Russian, I wanted to do something like that. It became repetitive. I'm talking about the same thing every day. That was like, oh, something better. So this is not improving my language. I'm talking about the same thing over and over. It just repeats. That's why I didn't continue because it was almost always the same thing. I said this is not improving, it's not helping. So I needed something like that.
And how much time should I use to write the topic at the exam, for example? Any topic.
I am, of course, not a teacher. Jonathan is the teacher, and he is the expert about this topic. But I think in the beginning, the timing is not very important in the beginning. You can take write as much as you can without any like time restriction on time, but maybe later you can restrict the time more and more, and sometimes even there was a person that suggested the way that said one way that someone can do is help his or her speaking practice, and also make himself speak better and faster. One of the ways that he talked about was that use a timer. For example, pick a topic, talk about it first time 4 minutes, and then the second time try to make this talk about the same topic, the same things that you said, but faster in 3 minutes. Then 2 minutes, then 1 minute, and you're trying to keep the content, keep content almost the same, but cut off those things that are not very necessary, and you speak will get faster, and one topic by topic you are gonna practice like this. And he said after a while it's gonna become so natural, topic by topic. I remember even one of these people who speak a lot of languages, was it Judith Mayer? He said also, she said that she always learns topic by topic instead of trying to tackle the whole language. He goes topic by topic. For example, in the Aitaki lesson, she says that topic for today is, for example, weather, and she tries to just learn about weather and talk about weather, and then next time is about post office, for example. I don't know, some topic, and each time she's tackling a topic, and topic by topic she tries to become like fluent. She can say, "Oh, I am fluent about talking about the weather." So, yeah.
Maybe I can write some text using Pomodoro technique.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know how many words can I write for 25 minutes, for example.
Yes. Yes. So
it's important to have any ideas what to write.
Yeah. sometimes the topic is so hard to come up with a topic. That's why the websites like this help a lot, because sometimes it's hard. It's hard to come up with a topic, and some of these topics, especially some of these topics, are topics that a lot of us are not gonna talk about that even in our language. So, if we want to reach a high level, we need to at least have some idea. Not if somebody goes to a topic that we are not used to, we shouldn't be totally lost if you want to become like a high level in that language. So sometimes this topic help, because some of these topics, for example, let me see. Um, let me see. For example, about mastery, or I don't know, or let me see. One topics that I'm never gonna talk about. Like, when would I talk about such a topic? For
But
example,
this list of questions, of ideas, doesn't mean that these ideas would be on exam, or it's just some examples of topics.
yes, that's the
Some
that's
creative ideas.
it says how many, like 14,000, top of the page, if you see 14,000 English conversation questions, 703 discussion topic handouts. That's a lot. It's gonna be yes. So
I personally, if I can jump in there, I would say you want to test yourself. So anything that is outside of your comfort zone is a good topic.
yes.
So if it's something that's like, oh, that feels easy, then don't do it. If it's kind of outside of like, well, I don't usually get a chance to talk about astrophysics. I mean, if astrophysics is interesting to you and you feel that that might come up in a conversation at some point with your language studies, yeah, why not? I mean, there's two extremes there in that one, but if it's something that's slightly out of there, of like, okay, complaining to a waiter at a restaurant, is that something that's like so that could be outside of my comfort
So
zone?
many words.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen at some point. I eat at restaurants. At some point, I may have to make a complaint. Do I just say nothing?
I should imagine that situation to write.
Yeah, like that situation could happen in daily life using this foreign language. The idea of like discussing astrophysics with a scientist, I don't think so. And then talking about the weather, yes, this could happen if you have running out of conversation topics with a partner. You're like, yeah, talk about the weather. But I would say getting slightly out of your comfort zone would, how would you make a complaint in a restaurant? And then you have an opportunity here to go through your vocabulary words, or imagine there's so many different situations in a restaurant that could create a complaint. There could be the spoon is dirty. There's something wrong with the food. There's some people over there are making too much noise. Could you please tell them? So there's certain things that could be involved. There could be like, come on, I've been waiting here for 40 minutes. Where's my food? So there could be lots of things of the delays, the quality of the food. It could be burnt. It could be undercooked. It could be missing something, like I ordered this, but where is this? There's a whole variety of situations that could be involved in that restaurant environment. And then if any of those things kind of, you're at a loss of words, that's good, actually, because that means now is an opportunity for you to learn some of these grammatical expressions or this vocabulary. Like, oh wait, I need something to clean my mouth. oh, I forget what that word is. Okay, write that down. Okay, you seem to have forgotten this word for napkin, or maybe if you forget the name of a word, you can at least use like a charades thing like that, and then, well, what is that gesture? It's like cleaning my face. So if you can, do you have something that I can use to clean my face, or I need something to clean my face, or just like that thing over there, can you? So anything you can use that could be related to an action or its noun, or if you forget those words or don't know them at all, that's an opportunity to like take some notes, and then go back maybe after the recording, maybe not necessarily when you're live on the camera, but just realize like your recording is a way to document that learning process, and realize like, okay, on the camera, I forgot the word for napkin. I forgot the word for clean. I forgot the word for need. So even just really basic concepts, it's an opportunity to review them as well, because like language kind of builds on multiple layers and levels. So I think one of those things when I was working with a lot of these recordings in Russian was just, if I forgot a word, I try to push myself to keep speaking. So if it's like, if I forgot the word napkin, I would try to kind of figure out something like I don't know, что-нибудь для чистить рот, когда я ем. It sounds very like a child speaking, but it's like, it gets the point across of something to clean my face when I eat. It's almost like a definition or something on a game show. But if I can at least do that, I can at least communicate, and not just be there of like, I don't know. And I see a lot of students that go straight to Google Translate, and they'll use something on their phone or something on the computer. They find it, they say it, and then the word is just, it's disposable, like a razor or something. It's like they got the word, they used it in conversation, and then they moved on, and they never bothered to learn that word because it was just it was disposable. And I would say that that word is never going to come back up in their active vocabulary, because their attitude is more of like, okay, I'll go to Google Translate or a dictionary, and then get rid of it. And I would say to get those words into your active vocabulary, I think you need to write down something, or try to describe it. Even if like, don't give up so easily in terms of translation work, or like, oh, I don't know it. I think that creates a bit of a crutch or a dependency, dependence. And when you're actually in a conversation with a friend, they're going to get really annoyed after about 5 minutes if like every time you forget a word, you don't develop these skills to go like, oh, you're constantly interrupting yourself and never developing this sense of, okay, I can get by in the language. I have enough basic vocabulary to keep the conversation going. And I think most language exchange partners don't care that you have the perfect word. I think they want to make sure that the conversation kind of keeps going. And they're like, well, if you don't know the word, just, I don't know, mime it or describe it or something, since that's not the main point of a conversation. Is like, you're not going to have an entire conversation around napkin. It's just like, that's just one tiny detail in your conversation about, I was at the restaurant. And I mean, you're not going to spend all this time talking about napkins. That's not so interesting. But so it's important to kind of let go a little bit with which details would be nice to know in a language, and which details kind of you just need to kind of move on and keep the communication going, and it's a skill to develop, to kind of like, if you don't have Google Translate, if you don't have a dictionary, how are you going to keep the communication going? And I think a lot of people with the technology today, they don't develop those skills. It's like, okay, if you didn't have Google Maps, how are you going to go from A to B? And a lot of people panic. They're like, I don't know how to move around a city without instant navigation tools. It's like, how is that even possible? It's like, you just get in the car and drive. And if you get lost, you look for signs. And just like, people have been doing this for years before Google Maps existed, or Waze, or whatever map tool exists. But it's a similar thing of, how do I get through a conversation without technology? And it's like, you do this like what everybody else has been doing for years before this technology existed. So
yeah, and
it's not so obvious.
And also one thing is that other than things that you mentioned, one thing else is that especially this is also a reminder to myself, because I have had a lot of frustration with this, and I always got frustrated with myself. But the research in psychology and science shows is that when I struggle to remember something, let's say I want to remember a word and it takes me 1 minute or 2 minutes, I'm so much struggling. After 2 minutes, I found it. That's 1 or 2 minutes of a struggle make the connection stronger. So it's not something I have to avoid. If I don't remember it quickly, then there is something wrong with me. I should be sad. My method is not working. No, even sometimes some people who learn a lot of languages, sometimes they say when they learn the language and then left that language for a few years and then come back to it. In the beginning, it's rusty, but after a while, they learn it much quicker and much stronger because they are relearning it. And it's not something bad, or I have to avoid, I should never forget anything. No, each time those struggles mean that I'm gonna remember it much faster next time. 1 minute I struggle this time, next time it's gonna be like maybe 20 seconds, next time 10 seconds, next time instantly I just remember it. And on that example that you were saying about using Google Translate, there is something more popular and much worse that a lot of people unfortunately use, but they are misusing it, and that is Duolingo. Because Duolingo is so easy, because the words are there, click on it, it appears what's the meaning. So the person, if he doesn't remember, quickly clicks on the word, touches the word, and sees the meaning. But wait 1 second, try to remember something. Don't click instantly, what does this word mean? And he sees the words up there and writes down, and he is happy. I learned something, lesson complete.
Yeah.
What are you doing? That's not learning. Yeah,
it's
I always click.
Yeah, I think it's also a similar thing with parenting, where like I miss opportunities. I miss teaching opportunities for my kids when I do it for them. So it's like, hey, go wash your hands, and then like, okay, go get the chair, or get your stepmother. Okay, turn on the water. Okay, get the soap, and like, that's an opportunity for them to learn how to do it by themselves. But if I just get frustrated and go like, oh, fine, I'll do it for you, or blah, blah, blah. That's one opportunity that I missed, where they could be learning to become just a little bit more independent or self-sufficient. And I think with that instant gratification, where it's like, oh, what does this word mean? And just click, it's just so easy that you don't have to struggle or avoid pain of thinking or trying to remember. But I love that point that they're making, that like that there is research that says like you're actually strengthening the connection. So I'd love to see research on that, because I think that's an important point to make, is like, we aren't learning actually if it's just instant access. It's like I think those struggles make us stronger, or even mentally stronger.
Yeah.
And what you said there of maybe the first time it takes 2 minutes, maybe the second time it takes a little less and a little less. And I definitely did notice when I was making my recordings in Russian, it is painful to put 3 words together, because it's like the first time it's like я читаю книга. No, нет. Книгой, книгу. Моя книга. No, нет. Мою. Я читаю мою книгу. And it's like that first time, it's just saying, I read my book. It sounds so simple in English, but the first time you're kind of going through the conjugation and declension tables for Russian, you're just like shoot me now. This is just like I'm never going to learn this language, and then it's like, okay, now I can do this. I mean, I'm butchering it on purpose right there, but I could say it quickly. Okay, я читаю мою книгу, and that takes me just 2 or 3 seconds. I don't technically have to think about it now. I say it out of kind of a unconscious knowledge that what I'm saying is correct. But I have to struggle through lots and lots of painful recordings where I am there for like a few seconds and a minute, kind of like I didn't want to look at Google Translate. I didn't want to look at my notes. I didn't want to just look at the screenshot and go, oh yeah, it's da-da-da. I wanted to go through those struggles and force myself to think through the tables, or think through the endings, or maybe color in my mind of what the endings look like if I had associate color and maybe shape or something like that. Yeah. And it definitely got faster. And I would say my other language engineering partners started to say like, yeah, you're getting that stuff. It's getting more correct, and it's getting faster. And then my confidence was also getting higher with that. As I knew that it was correct, then I felt more confident of just like, boom, I'll say it quickly because I know it's correct.
Yeah, and what was the thing that is in my head about the related to this topic was somebody was talking about this growing talent and this kind of thing, because everybody likes the myth that talent is born, but no, talent is not born, or genius is not born, it's grown. And then somebody had 2 lists of words. One list was just list of words, and the second list was one letter was missing. One letter was missing between these words. For example, bread, and then the second one is B, then one blank, and then TTER, and then people, for the second part, which one letter was missing, most of the people remembered more of the words. And he said why? Because it wasn't instant. You had to do something with the information. It wasn't instant. When you don't have to do anything with that information, it's much harder to remember. Also, what was the in that case of bread, and he said in first in his mind, he was phrasing it in a funny way. He was saying that if you are like me, you said, for example, bread and bitter. Oh no, you dumbass! It's butter, not bitter. And then he said that correction, that wasn't a mistake. That was a crutch that you used to get to the answer. That's a crutch that you used to the answer. So it wasn't a mistake. It was just a way that you you reached the answer, so it wasn't a mistake. And then he was saying that the thing about this speed, the thing about speed is that you have in brain there are neurons and neural networks, and these neurons have myelin in the myelin sheath, and myelin is like a insulator. And then this insulator, when there are more, each time you repeat doing something, that insulator gets thicker and thicker, and as a result of that, the neural network, the electricity goes faster. That's why the answer comes faster, because one time I repeated it, and then that's one more. And it was Jonathan. I don't know if you still hear me or not, but I think the name of the TED Talk was I don't know if you were hearing me, Jonathan, or not, but yeah. So the name of the TED Talk was "Growing a Talent Hotbed," I think. Growing the talent hotbed. Okay, see you, Tatiana. See you, Tatiana. Yeah, have a great weekend. Yeah. So it was growing a talent hotbed, but I think it's like 17 minutes long TED Talk or something like that. That's growing a talent hotbed, and it shows that he wanted. He saw some tennis players. It was something in Moscow that grow a lot of tennis players, great tennis players, and it was based on this repetition and this kind of thing. And he wanted to try do this, and he watched the movie. He watched short video that who is this the number one in the golf. I don't remember the guy. Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods was doing something with the golf, something very great, and he tried to do that. And after several months of practice, I don't know, 3 months, 6 months of practice, he could do exactly what Tiger Woods did. And it was all about this: how to grow talent. It's not about the gene or this kind of thing. It's all about repetition. Each time you repeat, the neural network has the myelin sheath gets stronger. And he was saying that the first time when it's first time you are doing it, it's like old internet, dial-up internet, and then you get more and more repetition, it become like a broadband. It was like broadband, and so quick the electricity goes. So that's I think you can easily find it, or maybe I can find it also, give it to you, the growing a talent hotbed, something. Yeah, something like that. It was, let's see if I can find the TikTok. Growing talent hotbed. Dan Coyle. Yeah, this is the one. Yes. Yes, this is the one that I'm talking about. The growing a talent hotbed. Dan Coyle. Yeah. Dan Coyle. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 17 minutes. Okay, and I have a good memory. I still remember several years ago I watched it. I remember 17 minutes or something. Okay, that's funny. But yeah, it's everything is still in my mind. I don't need to rewatch it. It's everything I remember already. So yeah, so it's a very good talk, and I love it, and it's very good. So exactly in this you can see the example of when you reach something, when you have to do something with the information or forgetting. Sometimes this helps. Even I think Luca Lampariello was saying the way to learn vocabulary, just forget it. Just forget it. Something like that. It was topic of video. Just forget it. Something. Yeah, because it helps. It helps. Don't try to know. I should avoid forgetting. By all means, no. Each time forget and you reach back and you use a crutch. It's gonna strengthen the connection. Okay, so anyway, I have to also go to my do some study or things I wanted to do today. So, and also you wrote that you have to go also. So
yeah, my daughter is getting really, like, she wants milk. I had to go to the corner store right in front of the house. We didn't have any more milk, so I had to go out and buy a small liter of milk so she could do that, and then she drinks the milk, then she needs to go to the bathroom because she drank the milk. So it's just every little step here. So I think they're ready for breakfast.
Okay.
And since we were gone for a week, there isn't really much to eat here in the house. So we'll have to figure out what to do for breakfast.
Okay. And one last question, like always, I ask, what is your next target language?
Oh yeah. What's something that I would like to, that I've never really bothered with? I think maybe this week I'll try out Esperanto. I've just barely looked at that like a really long time ago, just because I was curious, like, how does this function? But yeah, I've never really bothered to try to speak it or practice it. So I'll try that. I mean, I know Benny says, like, hey, it's a great one to get started, get your feet wet in terms of language learning, with like very few exceptions and things like that, or almost none. Like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll try. I think I'll try this one out.
I think I read somewhere that FSI usually says for languages, even the simplest languages, you need 600 hours FSI to reach fluency and proficiency. For Esperanto, I read somewhere instead of 600 is 150. I said, wow, that's like a quarter. I said, wow, it must be easy, but really easy. But I have no idea, because until this moment, I never really had any interest in the language, because it's not connected with any country. I don't know. Yeah. So
yeah, I think I joked with Brian about, like, what if somebody won the Add One challenge while learning Esperanto? Where would their plane ticket be to? Because you're like, hey, you can go to a native language, and they're like, well, you could decide anywhere you want to go, or maybe wherever there's a conference for Esperanto or something like that. But,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and again, question I don't remember. I have not seen. Did you do any video for Icelandic, or I don't remember?
No,
because last time I think it was Icelandic, right?
Like 2 weeks, like 2 weeks ago or something. Yeah, these goals are kind of like, life is definitely getting in the way, and teaching, and then the kids and the family, and I mean, not to make that an excuse, but I'm getting very good at failing. I'm getting very good at like where do I get 5 minutes in my day? And so each week I'm really starting out with, like, okay, I'm going to get my strategy better this time. So I don't want to give up on this goal. I want to keep it going. I want to keep, like, hey, each week is a new start. It's a new opportunity. I'll try to get something better this time. So.
Yeah, but one thing that I would like to say, this is not just about you. It's just about any human on the planet. Anybody who is a human is the same. One thing is that our brain does not care about productivity or anything. Our brain is all it cares about is survival, and survival survival, one of the ways that the brain makes sure how it survives is that by familiar situations. If I was in a situation 100 times and I survived, there is an evidence for the brain that I was in that situation and I survived. That's enough for the brain. So always unknown is scary, and his brain is gonna even if the familiar situation is being miserable, still it says I was miserable but I survived, I didn't die. That's all it cares. So sometimes those excuses and the sounds that come up is because the job it's doing its job. Its job is to survive, and survive even if it is misery. That's still surviving. Survive anything, anything, even it's a misery. Because a lot of times we think that our brain is gonna help us to be productive. Brain doesn't care about productivity. It's all about surviving. Surviving is always about familiar situations. So next week or anytime you want to do something new, expect that that this is a familiar situation. It's not familiar, and the brain is gonna say, oh, maybe I can do it next time, tomorrow, or I don't have time, or something.
I'll make excuses to just not be cooperative. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I recognize.
Just be aware of this, because we think that our brain wants to make us productive. No, it wants just survival, and that's why those sounds are not doesn't direct us usually to being very productive, because it's all about familiar. So anyway, have a great weekend.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, you too.
Yeah,
you too. And we'll be in touch in the group.
Yeah. Have a great weekend. See you next week, or
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. Last week was just I couldn't get out of bed. I was exhausted. I think I needed the vacation before we went on vacation. But yeah, I was like, I'm gonna get out, and then I ended up sleeping, and I was just like, and I was going to make an announcement, and then I was like, I need the rest. So, but yeah, we'll keep going with these. So
yeah.
But,
I don't know what happened. It stopped.